at some of the more advanced features. The first one I want to show you is the loft function, which is going to basically take these cross-sectional areas, I've got 4 of them here, and create a solid piece that will create those cross-sections. It'll create one piece going through all of those. So to create that, instead of just a regular extrusion, we do a lofted extrusion right there. And all I'm going to do here is I'm going to click down in the lower left corner of the line. These are all lined up. These will be a straight line. And you can see that it's creating a solid piece that has all of those areas that I've put in there. So once I get them all selected, I go ahead and click OK, and then I've got that solid piece shown right there. Okay. Next thing I want to show you is a fillet on a 3D part, a 3D fillet, which is right here below the cut extrude. So I'm going to go ahead and click that fillet, and all I'm really going to do here is click all the edges. Oh, before I do that, make sure you get the right radius in there. Okay. Which should be, I guess I have 0.15. Okay. And I just go click on all the edges that I want with that fillet, and I want this guy right back here as well. So you just simply click those after you put in the radius and click OK, and it'll put those fillets right in there for me. Alright, so now I got those, and the next thing I want to do is shell this guy out. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go into my shell command, which is down right in the center here. So I click on shell. Okay, make sure you have the right thickness. So I have 1/8 of an inch, so I have that. And then you just click the 2 faces that you want to remove, and it'll leave the thickness of 0.125 or whatever you put in there for it, and it'll shell out the 2 faces that you select, just like that. Okay. Now, let me switch it around. So I've got one extrusion here. It's a little hole right there. Okay, I want to create a rectangular pattern of that. So I go over here, click on linear pattern for that cut, and so it's already selected. So now I need to select direction. So the first direction will be in this kind of horizontal direction. Okay, you can put in the spacing, which for me is 0.6, as well as the number of instances, which is 5. Okay. Now, as far as the second direction goes, I created this axis earlier. We know how to create axes, so I went ahead and created this axis. So I click on that to kind of create the vertical. Okay. Now, of course, that's in the wrong direction, so I can flip the arrow like that. I put in my spacing, which for me is 1/4 inch, and the number, which is 10. Okay, so again, that's how you do a linear pattern, and it'll take that rectangular cut and create that pattern. So I'll have a whole bunch of rectangular cuts shown here. The last thing I want to show you is the sweep command, and you'll notice, well, before I do that, I've got a little sketch right down there. Okay, and that's let me zoom in a little bit. Okay, and that sketch is basically just a rectangle, and I want to take this rectangle and basically cut a little notch around the entire outside. Okay, and that's what the sweep cut is. So that's under the cut. Okay, but instead of extrude cut, what I'm going to do is a swept cut. So I can click on swept cut. Okay, and since I had already selected my sketch, it chose my sketch. What I want to do now is select the path, which is going to be this. Now, rather than clicking on it, I'm going to right-click on it and do a selection manager. So rather than going and clicking the entire path, this just is a little bit smarter to figure it out. So I want to make sure I have a group, and then I just come over here to this little drop-down menu, and I can left-click on it. You see the pink line goes all the way around to the edge. And that's the path. So it's going to take this rectangle and cut along that path all the way to the other side. So I click OK, and there you see the cut as it is. Okay, so those are a few of the more advanced features that we can use in SolidWorks.